For story number 7, we have Tenali Raman and his horse. King Krishnadevaraya wanted to expand his army, and he came up with an ingenious plan for the upkeep of his horses. He gave every man in his kingdom a horse and enough straw for its well-being. By distributing the work of upkeep to many rather than one or two, the king hoped to have a healthy army of horses for his cavalry. Everyone followed the king's orders, and the horses were thriving in their respective stables. But Tenali Raman's horse was neglected and ill-fed. Tenali had little interest in horses, and he fed the allocated straw to his cows instead, who became well-fed and fat. A few weeks later, the king ordered an inspection of the horses that had been dispatched across the kingdom. People brought their horses for inspection to the palace grounds. When it was his turn to present his horse, Tenali said that his horse had become so large and strong, it was impossible for him to transport the animal to the palace. The king was surprised and curious. He decided to send the chief inspector to Tenali Raman's house to see the strong horse for himself. Tenali wanted just such an action. The chief inspector was an old man with a long beard. When he reached the stable, Tenali instructed him to look through the window at the horse inside. The inspector thrust his head into the window, and the long beard slipped in through the window first. The starving horse imagined the beard to be straw and began to pull at it with his teeth. The inspector yanked his head back in pain, but the determined and hungry animal pulled off the man's beard with his teeth. The inspector went howling back to the palace and announced that indeed Tenali had the strongest horse of all. I hope you enjoyed this story in our series.